All right, students, I wanted to make a short video on how to format your essay. We haven't really had a chance to talk about it, and it seems like some of you know how to do it, but some of you don't quite as much, and that's okay. I just want to make sure um, that we all kind of know how to sort of get around Google Docs for essay writing. So the first thing you're definitely going to want to do is go over here and put a title on your essay. So you could just call it Grand Canyon Narrative. Just because when you look in your Google Drive and you don't put a title on it, it's just going to all say untitled. Okay, so that's something you don't have to call it Grand. I mean, just something like Grand Canyon Narrative is fine. That doesn't have to be your title of your actual essay, but just so you can look it up. You know, if you look up Grand Canyon, it should be able to come up easily. What I would recommend too, if you can, I'm pretty sure the school Chromebooks will allow you to do it, but I found that the best sort of spell check, grammar check thing is Grammarly. So one thing you could do is you can type in Grammarly for Chrome, and you should be able to just get on there like this and install it. Okay, mine says remove because I already have it. If you go to the add-ons, it doesn't quite work, but if you install it, um, you should see this little G up here, this little green G for Grammarly. Anyway, that way, if you type something wrong, like if I type the word year wrong, um, it'll be underlined red, and then if I kind of hover over it, it'll give me the correct spelling. So I like Grammarly, but you don't have to use that. There are some add-ons. If you go to add-ons right here, um, you can go to you can get add-ons and you could put some kind of like spell check, something like that. But I found those aren't as good, but it's up to you. But you should have some sort of spell checker on there. There's also a tool, spelling and grammar. You could use this right here. It's already built in. It's okay. It's not bad. I just like Grammarly. Anywho, okay. So now that you have that, your when you turn it into me, it should have your name attached, but it's always a good idea to put your name on this. So let me just sort of highlight over here, right over here. These are what you're going to use. There's the left align, center align, right align. So what you would click on is the right align. So anytime you're doing that, that way you can put your name, like if I was putting Mr. McNamara. Whoops, spell my name wrong without a capital. Okay, put the name, date, I don't know, 9/1/20, okay, something like that. And then usually you want to put your core, so like blue or silver. Okay, something like that. Okay, then maybe skip a line or so. And then now you want to put your title, and your title will go right in the middle over, over right about here. So then when you want to go back up and do is you want to hover and click on the center one. So you can call you don't have to call it Grand Canyon Narrative. You want to put like, I don't know, Trouble in the Grand Canyon. And I'm just making that up. Whoops. Okay, so that'll get your title. And so also when you're making titles, you usually want to have mostly capitals, except if it's like a small word like in or the. If it starts with the word the, then you would capitalize it. But usually words like and, in, the, a, okay, those are not gonna be capitalized. So this would be fine. And you don't make your title, gigantic like some of you like to do that. Like don't do that. Just leave it as normal. Some of you are gonna go, well, can we use any font we want? Can we use like a fancy font? Can we use something like this? No, don't do that either. Okay, I'm not sure why you would want to do that. So just keep it at, oops, sorry, keep it at just the Arial or whatever the default is. Just use it like that. Okay. Then you want to probably skip a couple lines like this. Um, I don't care if I'd like it to, single spaces is fine. Or so the spacing, let me see. I think it's this one right here. So this one, the default is 1.15. I think just keep it like that is just fine. You don't need to double space it. You can do 1.5 space. Single space is a little bit close together. I think 1.15 is just fine. So you could leave it right at that. But so now when you're ready to type, you want to go back over to this one right here, which is the left alignment. Okay, so you want to start right there. Now, whenever you start a paragraph, you're going to hit the tab, which is in the upper left of your keyboard. It says tab, so you would tab just right about there, and it's going to be like, I don't know, 5 spaces or so. Now, I'm just going to write some nonsense, so don't really pay too much attention. So when you start writing, you would say, something like, I don't know, um, I hate writing essays, Brielle said. Okay, whoops. I really can't spell right now. Okay, and then now if you're going to do another paragraph, remember if you hit return, okay, and then hit tab again, I don't care. Said Mr. McNamara. Okay. Be quiet and do your work. Exclamation point. Okay. Something like that. Okay, so remember, every time you begin a new paragraph, you don't have to put a space. A lot of USC are putting spaces in between paragraphs. You don't have to do that because then if you're doing that, you have to be consistent. That means every time you start a new paragraph, whether it's one line or not, you need to put a space in between it. So you got to be consistent whatever you do. I would just not put spaces in between paragraphs. Just indent every time you start a new paragraph. Some of you I've seen when you're in your alignment, you have everything centered. Like I think you have all your stuff like this. That's not correct. The only thing that should be centered is your title. Okay, but everything else should be left aligned like this. Okay, and indented every time it's a new paragraph. Let's see. Okay, a couple other things in the tools here. So I've asked you guys to try to keep it around 500. So how do you do that? Well, there's a couple ways. You can click and drag and highlight everything like this and go to tools and you go to word count. Okay. And it tells you, oh, I don't know, there's like 27 words. I think one that you might want to do is says if you tick this box, it says display word count while typing. Let me just click this off for a second. So you see it says 23 words right there. Um, so let's just say I started here again. I could say the class was very angry with Mr. McNamara for making them write an essay. They think writing is boring. Okay, so if you see over here to the left, um, the word count is going up. So right now it's at 46 words. Okay, so you can sort of keep that on, sort of have a better idea if you're going too far over or not. Okay, so when I'm telling you guys to revise, if I'm telling you to revise something, all you got to do is go back to your original, click wherever you need to, and then just hit enter and start a new paragraph, interject some dialogue. I think there's another way. Let me see. Like I believe if you highlight a word and you right click on it, let me see. Is this the way? I can't remember. Hold on one second. I believe there is. It's the dictionary. There is a way to find synonyms. Give me one second here. Oh yeah. Okay. So all you need to do is if you right click on it, It says define boring. So if you do this over here, this little thing will pop up and you'll see synonyms. So like tedious, dull, monotonous. Okay, so if I click on tedious, let me see if that'll work here. Um, yeah, so you can use another word besides boring. You could use tedious or something like that. So that's just a way to use different words. If you guys are trying to find more precise words to put into your essay. So let me see if there's any other tools here. Oops. Let me see if there's any other tools. There's a dictionary here. I guess it's the same thing. Um, Format, tools, add-ons, word count. Yeah, that's pretty much it for right now. So just make sure you guys are formatting it correctly. Remember, turn on the word counts. Format it like this. So put your name on it. Put your title, center it, and make sure you have a name for your document up in here. Okay. Any other questions? Just be sure to ask me. Thanks a lot.